Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. All right, so continuing on with my reviews of Biden's first 100 days in office, got a few things to cover today. So let's jump right into that. All right, so read out President Biden's call with Netanyahu. All right, so the president affirmed his personal history of steadfast commitment to Israel's security and conveyed his intent to strengthen all aspects of the U.S.-Israel partnership, including our strong defense cooperation. Defense cooperation. I fail to see how Israel is contributing to the defense of the United States, but, you know, that's just me. All right, so together the leaders discussed the importance of continued close consultation on regional security issues, including Iran. If you want to discuss the security regarding Iran, well, why don't you sit down and have, you know, peace talks between all the parties involved here instead of using Trump's Iran policy and acting like it's something different. All right, so the president emphasized U.S. support for the recent normalization of relations between Israel and the Arab and Muslim world. Of course, that has to do with Israel forming an alliance with Saudi Arabia, who is doing what? Conducting genocide in Yemen. He underscored the importance of working to advance peace through the region, including between Israelis and Palestinians. Okay, peace talks. Arrange peace talks that actually give the Palestinians a voice. Together they affirmed their shared interest in continued strategic cooperation to confront the many challenges facing the region. If you want to talk about the many challenges facing the region, then you invite all of the parties in the region, not just affirm your support for Israel. Okay? All right. That's enough of that one. All right, so all right, this one you can read for yourself. Read out a labor leaders meeting to discuss the American Rescue Plan and infrastructure. You know what this doesn't include? An infrastructure spending policy. Ensuring union workers play a key role in building a resilient and sustainable infrastructure that can withstand extreme weather and a changing climate, all while creating millions of good-paying jobs in the process. In other words, he is voicing support for the corporations that caused the blackouts and massive, gas, electricity bill increases across the United States right now. He's talking with the industry leaders, the ones that caused the problem, the capitalists that spent too little money on the equipment necessary to keep our country running, because spending money on the equipment would have cost them money and cut into their profits. And this is what he's doing. Oh, it'll create more jobs. Yeah, I guess it creates more jobs if you allow shit to break and then you have to fix it. Okay. Let's go back into this. All right. I mean, he should have been calling them all to task. So yeah. Okay, he's talking to unions, but unions do what? If unions and union representatives work basically for the corporations, not for the union members. Not today. All right. Executive order on the revocation of Executive Order 13801. So Biden revoked Biden's executive order expanding apprenticeships in America. You can read that. There's another one related here. Then, same day, Biden administration to take steps to bolster registered apprenticeships. President Biden and Vice President Harris will meet with a group of labor leaders to discuss the American Rescue Plan. Everything, American Rescue Plan, and get input on the president's infrastructure plan. His infrastructure plan doesn't include any spending bill on infrastructure. They will discuss how to put millions of Americans to work in good-paying union jobs, building roads, bridges, transit, electrical vehicle charging stations, broadband, schools and child care centers, water infrastructure, and more. Major infrastructure investments will provide reliable, steady demand for products made by U.S. workers and supply chains of small U.S. small businesses. These investments will provide opportunities to Americans who have too often been left behind, and they will make America more competitive. All right, this starts by expanding registered apprenticeship programs and investing in pipelines into these programs. Okay, I'll get to that further. All right. So, a Mathematica study shows workers can earn $240,000 more over the course of their lifetime. Let's do the math, shall we? $240,000 over the course of your lifetime. If you work for 48 years, starting from 18 years old and working until you're 66, $240,000 is $5,000 a year. That's it. And this is historical data. In recent years, people in trades have been making less money because of the large number of people that are competing for what is basically a static or declining number of jobs. I pointed out before, more and more jobs are being automated on a daily basis, including all the way down to interior house painting. They're working on robots. There are a number of universities that are under contract working on robots that will paint the inside of your house. Drivers, just wait for self-driving vehicles. It's been over a decade since I read about, look at 3D printing. They're using 3D printing to build houses and buildings nowadays. And it was over a decade ago that I read about that happening, using, polycarbonates. So when you have robots building buildings and robots painting the inside of the buildings, etc., what good are all these apprenticeships really going to do? I know a lot of people are saying, oh, get a trade job and all this stuff. That has a limited shelf life. And I've been trying to tell people that. All right, let's go back to this. All right. But yeah, you can earn $5,000, maybe $5,000 a year. All right, reinstating National Advisory Committee on Apprenticeships. To that end, Biden is asking the Department of Labor to reinstate the long-standing National Advisory Committee on Apprenticeships. This advisory committee will appoint a diverse set of stakeholders from across the country, including unions, employers, apprentices, community colleges, and other institutions to build a registered apprenticeship program that works in all communities. Reversing industry-recognized apprenticeship programs which threaten to undermine registered apprenticeship programs. Industry-recognized apprenticeship programs have fewer quality standards than registered apprenticeship programs. For example, they fail to require the wage progression that reflects increasing apprentice skills, and they lack the standardized training rigor that ensures employers know they are hiring a worker with high-quality training. Today, President Biden is rescinding Executive Order 13801, which spurred the creation of these programs. He is also asking the Department of Labor to consider new rulemaking to reverse these programs and to immediately slow support for industry-recognized apprenticeship programs by pausing approval of new standards recognizing entities and ending new funding for existing standards recognition entities. So let's take a look at what this means. All right, so one thing that this means is, okay, you want to establish standards. That could have been done through an amendment to the existing executive order. If you want to establish standards for any particular industry, say plumbing, then who do you want to establish those standards? It would be the plumbing industry. So, again, this is going back. All right, industry recognized apprenticeship programs. Okay, the first person I would want recognizing the training of the person working for me in an apprenticeship program would be the industry itself. To establish the highest standards. If you want to mandate different levels of apprenticeship and increasing levels of pay, okay, fine. Do that through legislation. Make the Department of Labor establish different pay levels for the different industries and levels of apprenticeship. What I fear that this means, there's no way to confirm it as yet, but chances are with a registered apprenticeship program, it means that either the employer conducting the apprenticeship or the apprentices themselves are going to have to pay money to be in this registered program. Instead of one that is established by the industry. I remember years ago, there were, a person could become a nurse through an apprenticeship program, and then that got taken away, and instead, to become a nurse, you had to incur massive debt to do this. So he is involving what? Employers? Yep. Yeah, unions. So these people are probably going to have to pay to be union members, whether they want to or not. So that's going to cost some money. You know, community colleges and other institutions, well, I mean, every bit of this sounds like it's going to cost the apprentices and employers money, and community colleges and so forth, and unions are going to be just raking it all in. I pointed out something, when Bernie Sanders was talking about a federal jobs guarantee, I pointed out the difference between a federal jobs guarantee and guaranteed federal jobs. One is not the same as the other. That's like, a federally guaranteed student loan. The federal government is not loaning you the money, they're guaranteeing the loan, and it's not a guarantee to you, it's a guarantee to the lender that they will get paid. So if you wind up in default, the federal government takes over as the debt collector, which can ruin your entire life. What FDR did during the Depression was to actually create federal jobs and hire American citizens so that their paycheck was coming from the federal government. To say, a federal jobs guarantee, there's really no way that this can be guaranteed. But if you have guaranteed federal jobs, that's a different matter. What Biden is doing is ensuring the industries, the employers, the corporations, on their end, it's not guaranteeing you a job. It's guaranteeing that the federal government can basically force you to take that job. And that's what this is all about. And the federal government takes your money, takes your taxes, and pays the corporations. Okay, fine. I'd much rather there be no profit, corporate profit involved in the in-between. When Biden started talking about, increasing the minimum wage for federal employees, he didn't talk to the federal workers' unions. He talked to the heads of departments to tell them to look at whether this could happen. You have to pay attention to the wording that is being used in every case here, because it's all deceptive. It is intentionally deceptive. It's to get you cheering for something that you should not be cheering for. All right? Share this video. Talk about these subjects. Click like. And if you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel. And I will catch you in the next one.